Hey there, we're back cooking with Violet Vixen. Today I'm showing you how to cook chicken, leek and Dijon casserole. This is an easy one to serve two people, so good for dinner and good for lunch the next day, or two dinners in a row, whatever is going, or do one, freeze one. So here's what we need. This one cooks on the stove top, so you need a saucepan and spray the saucepan like I've shown you on every other episode. You'll thank me when it comes washing up time. Come on in and I'll show you what we need. Alright, so this is a recipe that I discovered in an English magazine. So, back to my heritage of the English cooking. So I've had to adapt a couple of ingredients slightly, only because of portion sizes. So olive oil, yes, we have that here in Australia. Whole skin on chicken thighs. There's no skin on the chicken thighs. That's all good. It's healthier for you. 1 leek chopped. There was a half a leek that I had in the freezer because I only needed half a leek for something. So unless you like a lot of onion, half a leek is better than going out and buying a new one and still having half a leek in the freezer. 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. In case you're wondering why is there 2 jars there, it's pretty obvious. 1 jar is not going to make it. 1 for now, 1 for spare. 250 mils of chicken stock. I've made this one up. You can, when I was looking for chicken stock ready made up for next week, half a litre, they now do it in a 250 mil. So you almost don't need to buy this and make up your own anymore. Gets expensive probably, but at the end of the day, there's no waste and there's no having to deal with stock powder that goes all clumpy like that one. But anyway, it does dissolve while it's cooking, so it's fine. 210 gram tin of butter beans drained. We don't have a 210 gram tin of butter beans in Australia. We used to do, you used to be able to get smaller tins of chickpeas, and I think kidney beans and 4-bean mix, but not butter beans. These are really cool. So I didn't keep the empty tin. Yes, I did. Okay, so this one's 400 grams. I'm not going to freeze the rest, so I'm actually going to have more beans in it. It's healthier for me. So, and a bit of chopped parsley to serve. For some reason, I thought I had parsley, but I don't. I brought some seeds the other day, so we'll see how they go. So we're just going to use the dried parsley. Alright, so let's head on over to the stovetop. Grab your stirring stick and a splash of olive oil, and we're going to get going. Okay, in the background you will see last episode's Oslo fish stew. I have not had that yet. I'm doing a double cook tonight. The joys of working hard and not having much time to do everything. So onto the highest temperature for your hot plate. Dash of olive oil. This one's really easy. It's going to simmer for 25 minutes, which is the time that I will actually sit down and eat my dinner. So alright, so I'm going to wash the chicken because it's been out and about in the fridge and in the freezer and then in the fridge. And well, you don't need its life story because I think I've just told you its life story. So this colander's heaps popular at the moment. So always try and wash chicken breasts if you can, because yeah, it smells. It's not the chicken's fault, but it does smell. So just going to give it a wash. Phew. Sometimes I wish that I didn't just do what I did, but I guess I had to know. I'm just going to put the plug in and give it a bit of a soak. That's all good though. The saucepan's getting really hot. I know I've got it turned on. Alright. That'll do us. The main thing was to just get the smell out of it. Alright, pop those in. If you can get them with skin on, do it. I did ask for skin on them, but I'm not going to complain because my butcher delivers for me. So if he wants to give me without the skin on, then that's what I get. It's all good in the end. Alright, I'm just going to wash up this tin plate because I had a stack of washing up to do before, so I don't want to make a lot more washing up. So what we're doing with the chicken breast, see, it's a force of habit. Everything's chicken breast. If you are doing casserole though, a little tip, chicken thigh fillets actually are nicer because they have fat in them and they actually go really tender. Okay, so we're heating the oil. We're going to fry the chicken all over until browned, and then we're going to scoop out. In English, as in Australian English, that just means take them out of the frying pan or the saucepan. We're using a saucepan. Alright, turn them over. I can still smell them, but they're going to be fine. Just, you have to cook chicken really well through. Really, really well through, okay? So if you think it's cooked, cook it longer. But for now, all we're doing is we're basically just browning it. Once we take those out, we're going to put the leek in. Okay. Beautiful. So yeah, I had these out of the freezer yesterday because I was actually going to... I should have got them out yesterday instead of the day before. Because I had planned... I was supposed to be cooking this at the time when I cooked the other one, but my brain forgot to tell me to get a key ingredient. So, well, if you've watched the previous episode, you'll know why I'm cooking late. Which means I'm going to be eating dinner late, but it doesn't really matter because that stew at the back, that is a stew, that is still going to be fine. The oven's still hot, so it's actually keeping it hot. Alright, just a bit longer on these. Alright. Even though you can see they're not cooked right through, just lift them out. Okay, they're smelling better now. Alright, chuck in the leek. Grab your stirring stick. It's still slightly frozen. That's not too bad though. Alright. So once we get this in for a couple of minutes, our next goal is going to be the mustard and the stock. So that's your 1 cup of chicken stock and your 2 teaspoons of Dijon. So what I'll actually start and do is get the Dijon ready. If you think the pan's getting a bit too hot, turn it down. keep in mind this one's frozen, so that might be why it's making a bit of noise. I'll actually put a little bit of stock in just to stop it from giving the saucepan a hard time. Okay, there might actually be 2 teaspoons of Dijon in this jar. Yes, I think there is. There's one. Just get the other one. I don't use a lot of Dijon mustard. I tend to like, if I'm using mustard, I like the grainy one. I have used Dijonaise quite a little bit, and also a little bit of hot English mustard here and there. So Dijon is a very rare one for me, which is why the jar looks like it's been here for 100 years. And I have a backup jar, which I didn't get to use. I normally try not to get too many backup jars because otherwise I'm going to have a whole pantry full of them. Alright, so our next step is to get that stock in. Here we go. Might need to turn it up a little bit because now that I've put cold liquid in, got to reboil. Okay, so this is a healthy sort of recipe because you've pretty much just got leek and chicken. Of course, this one's going to be even healthier because we don't have the skin on the chicken. Once it starts to simmer, we're going to tip in the butter beans, keeping in mind that if you do end up with 400 grams, you are going to use 400 grams because what are you going to do with the rest otherwise? There's certain things that don't freeze well, and I think they might be one of them. Right, I'm going to just turn that right up high so we can start and get it to boil. Let's see how this tastes. The top tastes like when you have potato chips. Those top ones. Excuse eating on camera. Alright, in we go with our butter beans. Alright, finally get the chicken thighs back on. So the whole idea is that you have 2 of these per person. So you generally wouldn't really need anything else with that. It's easy to get into a habit of keep having bread with casseroles and things, but then if you are trying to lose weight, it's not really going to do you much good. So try and avoid that step. Alright, so once that comes to the boil, we're going to pop the cover on it and we're going to put it on to the timer for 25 to 30 minutes. So we want it to be really boiling because we've got to make sure that that chicken cooks through. As you can see, it's starting to come up nicely. I'm just going to move the behind casserole out of the way. It gives us a bit more room there. Okay, so you can see how it's going there. Alright, turn that down to about 2. Lid on, slightly ajar for 25 minutes, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. Okay, so I gave it a little bit longer because I could see the chicken was still pink. However, this is going to be getting warmed up. So if you're warming it up the next day, be aware that if you overcook it now, when you go to warm it up, you're going to cremate it. So leave it as it is. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been chicken, leek and Dijon casserole. Enjoy, and I'll catch you on our next adventure.